Sentro knitting machine troubleshooting the cast on. I got this comment that they're having issues with their machine. They very nicely made a video and tagged me in it so I could see what's going on and hopefully help troubleshoot and fix the issue. So I'm going to show you what I saw in the video on what the problem is, because it's something that happens a lot to beginners because the directions that come with the machine are not great. So here's the example. You put your yarn in your yarn holder, and then you have it under your first needle, and then you're having all the needles catch that yarn as you crank one time around. Once we get back to our starting needle, then it looked like you were continuing to crank more. And then as we're going around, we crank and we crank and we crank. And then when we start again, as you can see, the yarn just starts to fall off the machine. So to fix this, it is a very easy fix. We have to do a cast on. It's a setup of the yarn on the machine. So our next row of stitches, when you go to crank out your next rows, they have something to lock into. If you crochet, this is called like a foundation chain. Hand knitting, its initial set of stitches they put on the needles, so it creates that foundation. So we just need to do the same thing for the machine. It needs a foundation of yarn for that stockinette stitch to be made. So I'll do the cast on step by step with you so you can follow along. I like to start on my white needle. It's a very nice visual for me. We want to put the yarn under the needle so it hooks. And it's going to pull that yarn down into the machine right here. The next needle, instead of having it hook again, we want to go behind the needle like this. As we crank forward the following needle, it's going to hook. It's going to go under. And then we're going to go behind the following needle, then hook, behind, and then in front so it hooks, behind, in front so it hooks. This is our cast on. Behind, and you'll see when it hooks, it pulls it down into the machine, and when it goes behind, it's not pulling it down into the machine. And so we do this every other needle. One will hook and one needs to go behind until we get back to our starting needle. So we're just going to go behind hook, behind hook, behind hook, behind hook, till we get back. Now we're going to stop here and I'm going to show you what this looks like. So here's what the cast on is going to look like for your machine. It's under, over, under, over, under, over. Every other needle it should look like this. Now we're ready to start our first row. So we're behind this needle, and before it goes to hook on to our starting needle, which is my white needle, we want it all the way down our yarn holder. If it's over to the side like this, these needles can't hook the yarn, which is another way you can also get drop stitches. So make sure it's all the way down in front to the back in our yarn tension bar. And now we're going to start our first row and knit our first row. And now because we did our cast on, it has something for those knit stitches to lock into place. Let me show you what it looks like now. It's going to look like this. I call it X's and O's because like an X and then an O going around those two small little pegs, XO, XO. And so it's locked them into place. Now let's make our next rows, and I'm going to speed this up, but you're going to see how nothing's now able to drop, and it's making the stockinette stitch as we crank around. So I'll speed this up and I'll show you what it looks like here. I can grab some. You can see here it's been able to lock that first row or a cast on to make the stitches. So now nothing's able to drop. And then I'm going to zoom in so you can see a close-up of what this looks like. Here's what it looks like since we did that, and then there is our stockinette stitch that the machine makes. So try this. I hope this helps, and happy knitting. Thank you everybody for all the likes, comments, and questions. I truly appreciate all your support, and happy crafting.